Okay, looks like we're in business. Hello, hello, hello to all of you. How's it going, people? Hope you're having a great night so far, or if it's day where you are, hope you're having a great day. I have another transformation video here. This is another singer I work with. His name is Danny. And originally, he contacted me because he wanted to take my 5-week singing intensive course that I have for guys who have issues with their break up to the F above middle C, up to the F4. And what you're going to see here is I'm going to show you what he sounded like at the beginning of the very first lesson that we did. And I'm going to highlight some of the various issues that he had. What you're going to hear him singing is an original song that he wrote. Give me 1 second while I pull that up. This is not the clip I want. I want another one. I want this clip. Okay, so okay, now let me just move me out the way so you can actually see the clip. And I'm gonna do that. There we go. And here you go.
All I can say about tomorrow is that alarm clock will go off at 6. 2 Starbucks cups to buy a seat. It's just enough when I'm cold, and it's all I need. Tomorrow my dreams will be my plans, and I won't put before love you I would, and wherever our plane lands, I'll never, never let you down. Tell me if you want your burden hands, so I'll keep your soul safe and sound. You know, wherever our plane lands, I'll never, never let you down. And I'll be everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay. Hey, little rain splashes bottles and smears the colors of the night. Just pull me a little closer, so I'll keep you warm and sound. Tell me if you want your burden hands, so I'll keep your soul safe and sound. You know, wherever our plane lands, I'll never, never let you down. And I'll be everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay. Oh.
Okay, so that was at the beginning of the very first lesson. After we got our quick introduction, I just asked him to sing something for me that would be representative of the issues that he was having with his voice. And actually what he told me is that managed to come out a little bit better that day than what it normally does. So that was kind of a fluke for him. But generally speaking, he had problems with consistency above middle C. Okay. In particular, as he's singing that song and he goes, everything you want, there, that note is very unstable for him. Like there's no kind of security with it. He can just barely eke it out for a second and hope to God that it doesn't break or crack or flip on him. And after that, he can't really sustain it. Like it's definitely not a note that's sustainable for him. The rest of the range, the lower range, is a bit too high larynx, tomorrow my dreams, he's like this, tomorrow my dreams will be my plans. It's kind of stuck in this high larynx position, so that's another thing that we had to work on. What was the other thing that he did here? He doesn't understand how to approach high notes, so it's like everything you want, and gets like like that as he's doing the note. Because it's just the coordination is just not there at all. Also, the phrasing. There is a phrasing issue that's going on with this. I know he's kind of doing like pop kind of singer-songwriter style material, and the kind of phrasing that he did there is common in that genre of music, but that type of phrasing does not support your voice working well. It does not support good technique from being able to display itself. So you're going to hear that we were addressing his phrasing a lot as well as his vowels. We also had to work on his support. Like his chest voice wasn't too bad. He had some kind of development in his chest voice. It could still be stronger, but there was some chest voice there. It just needs to be more free, like I said, because the position of the larynx was too high, and it wasn't as connected into his body as it could be. So you're going to hear in this next clip that I have coming up, this is towards one of the later lessons that we did. Maybe I want to say either lesson number 4 or lesson number 5, somewhere around there, probably like lesson number 4. And you're going to hear we're working on Kiss Me from Ed Sheeran, just working on a little bit of that. And you'll hear immediately we're going for this more released larynx position where it's not so much like this. And so it's a little bit more like, like this, where the larynx can relax a bit more. And you'll hear it's a bit deeper sounding, but it's not the finished product, but it's moving in the direction of where he needs to be to rebalance his voice. So I will play that for you now. Give me 1 second so I can get rid of myself. And now I will play it. Okay, I'll pause you there. Now, settle, 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 settle down with me.
Settle, settle down with me. Cover me up, cuddle me in. Lie down with me and hold me in your arms, and your heart's against my chest. I'm not improvisating, by the way. I'm just trying to remember the song correctly. Lips pressed to my neck, and I'm falling for your eyes. They don't know me yet, and with the feeling I'll forget. I'm in love now. Kiss me like you wanna be loved. You wanna be loved. You wanna be loved. This feels like falling in love. Like falling in love.
What's his love?
Falling in.
Okay, so that was that clip. And you can hear that he's letting the larynx start to relax a little bit more. There's more of this in the sound. And then when you get the chest voice to come in from that position, it comes in totally differently. It doesn't come in and strangle you so much. It lets it function more correctly as it should. So this is the song that he was originally doing, but what you're going to hear next is we're actually doing this in the higher key. First, we're going to do it one key. We're going to start out doing it one key higher than what he actually did. So in the original key, he was going up to E flat above middle C and kind of struggling there. Well, not kind of, but struggling there to do all of those E flats that were in that song. This one, we're actually going to go up to E's above middle C, and then we're going to raise the key again, doing it to F above middle C, and then we're going to raise it again and do it to the F sharp above middle C. And you're going to hear how much stability he has on the notes while doing this, that he can actually sustain these notes. Now, we're doing it slower than the actual song. We're taking it phrase by phrase, breaking it down to make sure he understands how to approach the phrases, that he understands how to handle the phrasing of it. There's a lot of musical elements, like I said, that aren't typically in singer-songwriter style, but he needs this phrasing to get the voice to function correctly from a technical standpoint. So you're going to hear us working on that now. Just give me one moment while I let that play.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be everything, and I'll be everything you want, everything you want.
Good.
Anywhere,
So same thing for this,
anywhere.
Anywhere. It has to have that same little movement and volume.
Anywhere, anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay.
Good.
Everything you want, everything you want.
Good.
And I'll stay anywhere you stay.
Okay, this key is too easy for you, so you need to try it here. So now we're taking it to the key up to the F now. It's right here.
Okay. And I'll be everything you want, everything you want.
So go be everything. Practice just that much.
Be everything.
Like that.
Be everything.
When you're singing the line, that everything should feel exactly like that. What my teacher used to always tell me is that high notes are not really that hard. The high notes are not the difficult thing. It's the notes leading up to the high notes that will either make or break you. So she will always say it's approach, 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 approach. It's not the high note itself. It's how are you approaching the high note that will either make it easy or difficult for you. This is part of the approach to the high note. Setting up this be everything. If you set it up like that, then the high note is the pathway for the high note has been paved and it's clear and it's just like wide open. It's just like, okay, yeah, high note, come on, take me. Whereas if you go be everything, now the pathway to the high note is not there. It's cluttered. It's not right. So try it again, the whole phrase, but thinking the be everything is going to feel and sound exactly like that.
And I'll be everything.
Mm-hmm.
One more time, or the whole thing?
The whole thing.
And I'll be everything you want, everything you want.
Good.
Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want.
So everything. Mm-hmm.
Everything you want, everything you want.
Good.
And I'll stay anywhere you stay.
Very good. Okay, so that was up to the F, and you hear how many times he was repeating that phrase going to the F above middle C. It's like, you want, and he's staying there, and you can hear the voice is much stronger and much more stable here. Now, in this next clip right here, you're going to hear we're doing it up to the F sharp now. We raised it up even another key. because this is what he had to do in order to find the right placement for his voice and find where his voice is supposed to situate itself, because the original key was too low and it was causing issues with coordination. He needed to be in this range to get practice. So here's the rest of it. Try it again. Stay. Try it again.
Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. That's how you do it. Can you do that again? You're nailing it now.
Okay. With anything.
Anywhere you'll
Anyway.
stay, anywhere
Okay.
you'll stay.
Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay.
Yeah.
I kind of have this little drop between you. And I'll be everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. And I'll stay anywhere you stay.
Okay, now you can try it here. Okay, so that's what you hear. That's him doing it up to the F sharp now. The vowels are positioned much better. Are the vowels perfect? No. No. But is it better? Yes. Is it more stable? Yes. Is he able to keep the chest voice engaged through what he's doing now and not feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm about to be strangled. I can't hold this note. I can just tap it for a second. I want to get off of it. Is he feeling like that? No. He's repeating this phrase over and over and over again to build familiarity with it, and so that way he can get comfort with it. And so what you're going to hear in this next little recording that I'm going to play, this is actually him singing a song. This is he did a recording for it in the studio, and this is 4 weeks in. This is on the 4th lesson. You'll hear that he's maintaining it. So the key that he's doing for this song here is actually 2 keys higher than what he originally did. And the original that he played for me with this at the beginning here, it was going up to the E flat above middle C. And this new version that he recorded is going up to the F above middle C, because he found much more stability. That's a better key for him. It showcased more of his voice, and that's sitting more in his sweet spot. So a lot of people think, oh, I have a low voice and blah, 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 blah. And that's just what your voice is. A lot of times your voice is just low because it's untrained. It's not trained enough. When your voice gets proper training, it starts to sit higher in your range, and it changes the way you sit in your entire voice. And you find that you start to find the sweet spot of your voice, where your voice like really begins to blossom and take on the color and interest and liveliness. And for him, it was going up to the F above middle C. So you'll hear that in this next recording.
Roger that, Houston. All systems 5 by 5.
All I can say about tomorrow is that alarm clock will go off at 6. 2 Starbucks cups to buy a seat. It's just enough when we're cold, and it's all we need. Tomorrow my dreams will be my plans, and I won't put before love you I would. And wherever our plane lands, I'll never, never let you down. And I'll be everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay, anywhere you stay. Everything you want, everything you want. Anywhere you stay.
All right. So what you hear in that clip is number one on the low notes. He's not so high larynx on the low notes now that he's letting the larynx sit in a much more relaxed, natural position where it should be. And then that helps the high notes to coordinate better, to come in with much more stability. He's singing into the high notes more compared to the first recording that he did, but now they're also more stable too, since he had to sit and practice them over and over and over again and do it slowly over and over and over again. Make sure he understands, okay, where exactly is my voice going? That it's going, everything you want, everything you want, instead of going, everything you want, everything you want, instead of doing it like that where there's no stability and there's nothing consistent for you to rely on. So I'm going to let you hear what he had to say about the process overall, his experience with it, and his personal perception of it here. Just give me 1 second so I can play this video for you. Or rather, get me out the way so I can play it. Okay. Here we go.
Hi everybody, my name is Danny, and I'd like to share my story and the vocal experience that I had with Marnell. So I'm 23 and I started singing when I was about 13, and my struggle was to sing notes above middle C. So it wasn't just hard to sing them, it was impossible. So I would do all these crazy things with my throat when I would squeeze and try to yell and croak, but nothing would take me past this middle C. Recently, I graduated from a private music college here in Munich, where my personal main subject was singing. So I practiced with 2 professional vocal coaches for 4 hours every week for 2 years. And so it's roughly about 300 hours in total. And I left the school with barely a semitone added to my vocal range, so basically nothing. I was very disappointed, but now I can say with confidence that in those 300 hours, I have not made a tenth of the progress that I made with Marnell in only 5 vocal sessions. And now I can sing up to G5 with my chest voice whenever I want.
I just want to make one clarification to what he said. That he said G5, he meant G4, meaning G above middle C, not talking about the G above tenor high C. Just making that clarification.
And on any vowel I want. But I don't want to make an impression that in just over 5 weeks I went from bad singer with almost no range to world-class Sam Smith type of singer. No, but of course, it will require more practice to take a precise control over these high notes in my chest voice, but at least now they are there. I can touch them, so to say, and a song like Lay Me Down by Sam Smith, for example, is not an impossibility anymore, but it's just a matter of investing some time into practicing it, and I know for sure that I can pull it off. So that's the difference. And how relieving is that? So see, when I practiced with my other vocal coaches, it was something like that. They would tell me, okay, so straighten up, lower your head a little, okay, breathe into your stomach, blah, 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 and open your mouth, and just sing this high note. And I would make this terrible noise, like croaking or something like that. And they would look at me and say, well, there must be something wrong with you. See, because I'm doing it and I sing this note. He's doing it and he can sing. She's doing it. Why can't you? There must be something wrong with you. There must be something wrong you're doing. So they made me feel like it was my fault. They made me feel like I was flawed in some way that I just couldn't sing those notes at all, and never will. But with Marnell, he made me believe that whatever was happening to me was perfectly normal, that there was nothing fundamentally wrong with my voice, that it was just development stage, that everybody has to go through. Maybe some people don't remember it because they were very young when they went through this stage. But me, with my problems, I'm going through this right now, and it's perfectly fine. So, and from there on, he led me through all these shifts and changes in my voice and my understanding of my voice with techniques that I had never heard of before. So it was pretty cool. His understanding of the voice is very deep, and I was just in awe. So, and although I was of course seeking these answers and asking other people and other coaches and other singers, nobody had ever been able to explain it to me so simply that I finally understood it, and it worked with my voice. I think right after the second session during one of my practices, it clicked for me and I finally got it correctly, and I just started singing these notes, and yeah, so it just spiraled up from there. I was like, oh, I can do it right now. I get it how it works. So yeah, a friend of mine told me about Marnell, and she was telling me how great he was and blah blah blah, and I was just like, yeah, sure he is just another online coach. But I watched some of his videos, and I read this awesome article about singing past the vocal break that I could 100% relate to, and I just decided to try it out. And folks, it was worth every penny and more. So, and I'm definitely coming back for more lessons.
Okay, so that was what Danny's view of the whole process was, that you do have these stages, and this is something that many singers don't realize, that a voice, you don't get from point A to point B overnight. You don't say, okay, yeah, I'm just going to take a couple of voice lessons, and then all of a sudden I'm going to sound like my favorite singer on the radio. That's not how it realistically happens. There's many in between stages that occur that you have to go through, and then some of them you're not going to sound exactly like what you want. But what is important is that it feels more stable to you, that it feels more comfortable to you, that it's feeling more consistent to you. And then if you have that in place, you can continue to keep improving, and then the sound itself will start to take on more shape as you go through more and more of these stages. So it's still a work in progress. There's still more work to be done, but that's still the stages that he's gone through in just 5 weeks are tremendous. To have that kind of stability on Fs and F sharps, and I mean not just in scales but actually in songs, that's something totally different altogether. Now in the scales, we work up to the G sharp sometimes, and we also did some things around the high C, but that was for something totally different, getting more into like a mix around the high C, because we have to train all parts of the voice so that you see how everything sits in relation to each other. Because if you get one part off, if you focus only on one part and then you get off on that too much, then it throws off another part of the voice. So you kind of have to keep attacking it from all angles to hold it together and see, wait, what is that picture supposed to look like when it's all said and done? So that's what we did, and it's been a good progression for him. So for any of you out there who are also interested in taking Skype lessons one-on-one the way that I did with him, he was in Germany. I'm here in the States in Nebraska. I am available for one-on-one lessons. If you would like to take one, just visit the description or go to the link in the description underneath this video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, a like, and be sure to subscribe for future information. All right, have a good night, everyone. Take care.